What happens after the miracle? In the biblical account of a widow found in 2 Kings 4, a desperate mother faces the loss of her 2 sons to creditors. Through the prophet Elisha, God performs an extraordinary miracle, multiplying a small jar of oil until every borrowed vessel is filled. But the story does not end there. After the miracle comes a simple yet life-altering instruction: go, sell the oil. It is in this moment that a new journey begins, one marked not only by provision, but also by the quiet fears that can arise when we are called to step into unfamiliar spaces. And perhaps this is where many of us find ourselves today. The prayer has been answered. The provision is tangible, yet the path forward feels uncertain. Will we move forward, even when fear lingers? Let us step into this moment. She returns to the prophet, not empty, not in the same urgency that first brought her there. The vessels are full, the oil has stopped. And as she stands before Elisha, there is perhaps a quiet overwhelm, relief, awe, and the weight of what has just taken place. This is no longer the desperation of a woman about to lose her sons. Instead, it is a reverent awareness of the God who has intervened so powerfully. There may also be a gentle tension in this moment. Returning once again to the prophet, she might wonder if she is asking too much, if she is becoming a burden. Yet she comes, not out of presumption, but out of trust. This is the posture of reverent fear, not one that drives her away, but one that draws her closer in humility and dependence. And then the instruction comes: go, sell the oil. Simple, practical, yet carrying more than it first appears. Up until now, everything has happened within reach, inside her home, behind a closed door, with her sons beside her, bringing vessel after vessel. Because it was hidden, she likely moved with a certain confidence. The space was familiar, protected from public scrutiny. But now, she must go. We are not told how, not told where, not told if she has ever done anything like this before. This is often the way God gives instructions, just enough to get us moving, not the whole picture. If everything were revealed at once, the weight of it might overwhelm us. Instead, the learning and the growth unfold in the going, one step at a time. What was formed in the hidden must now be carried into the open. What God has done in private must be lived out where it can be seen. And we can trust that God does not lead us into the public sphere unprepared, even when we do not feel ready ourselves. She steps into a space she has no history with, not having mastery over it, but willing to move nonetheless. She goes, blind obedience, not because she knows how this will unfold, but because she trusts the one who spoke. And perhaps this is where her identity is still being shaped. She is no longer defined by what she lacked, yet she is not stepping into a final, fixed identity. Instead, she is growing into a new way of being, learning to live as one who has received. Her identity is becoming more fluid and resilient, anchored not in her circumstances or roles, but in the faithfulness of God. There is no script for this part, only the instruction to go. And this is the nature of this kind of obedience. It does not wait for full clarity. It does not demand complete readiness. It moves, while still dependent, while still uncertain. The miracle did not end when the oil stopped flowing. It continues in the going, in the carrying, and in the learning. What she holds now carries weight. The oil is no longer just provision. It is something entrusted, something that must be carried faithfully for the sake of her future and that of her sons. At this stage, fear may accompany her in different forms. Reverent fear, standing before the prophet, aware of God's presence. Overwhelm, the emotional weight of the miracle and the responsibility it brings. Fear of inadequacy, wondering if she is capable of navigating this new space. Fear of failure, concern about mishandling what has been given. Fear of people, questions about acceptance or rejection in the marketplace. Fear of ignorance, entering unfamiliar territory without prior experience. Fear of the unknown, uncertainty about what lies ahead. These fears do not signify a lack of faith. Rather, they highlight the human dimension of obedience. Fear may be present, but it does not have to determine the direction of her steps. And for us, the journey often mirrors hers. The prayer has been answered. The provision has come. The miracle has taken tangible form. Yet stepping out into the unfamiliar can surface similar fears. The vulnerability of being seen while still learning. The discomfort of not feeling fully established. The hesitation born from past disappointments. The question, what if I get this wrong? Sometimes we expect God's intervention to provide an effortless escape. Instead, He often works in ways that are both extraordinary and participatory. He shows up in power and then gently walks us into the responsibility of what He has provided, helping us grow into the very capacity required to carry it. Fear can sabotage well-intended decisions and aspirations, redirecting us from the path of alignment. It consumes emotional energy that could otherwise be channeled into movement. Yet, as seen in the widow's response, the way through fear is not its absence, but obedient action. The same energy that fuels fear can be redirected into trust-filled movement. As we take each step, fear does not necessarily disappear. It simply loses its authority. She has not yet paid the debt, but the instruction already points to the outcome. Pay your debts, and you and your sons live on the rest. Her sons remain at the heart of this journey, the reason for her initial cry and the promise of a restored future. She is now in motion, carrying not only the oil, but also the hope of a new beginning for her household. Not with every answer, not with full certainty, but with enough to obey. God does what we cannot do. He brings the oil, multiplies it, and meets us in our place of need. But then He says, go. Not away from Him, but forward with Him, into spaces we do not yet understand. And in this unfamiliar ground, our strength is not in having it all figured out, but in remaining dependent, asking, learning, and leaning as we go. Because what He begins in the secret place is not meant to end there. It is meant to be carried faithfully in the open, with the same trust that received it. The question is, will we go when the instruction is clear, but the path is not?
This is a space where Bible stories meet real lives, faith restores identity, and financial freedom follows truth. Let's connect. Stay close as we grow together. Thank you for your time. We meet again in the next episode of The Widow and the Oil.